Hi, welcome to A Course in Miracles workbook class, brought to you from the Little Garden in Sedona, Arizona, USA. If you would like to study the course with others, but do not have a home group, you might want to watch our study group's home-style meetings on YouTube. For details of this and more, go to our website, www.thelittlegarden.org. Thank you and enjoy today's class. Good morning, Suzanne.
So Jan, what are we doing today?
Today is lesson 132, one of the most amazing lessons in this whole course. If you're at a place where you can take it in, I loosed the world from all I thought it was. So this is one of those lessons that to me follows on a lot to those first 50 lessons. Remember that, well, especially the review of the first 50 lessons. They're like really powerful, amazing thoughts. Like, I've given the world all the meaning that it has for me, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who's making up this world? Is it God making up this world of war and strife? Or is it my mind? Now, my mind is in a lot of times in agreement with the ego mind of the world that's saying, oh yeah, suffering is real, but I get to change my mind here and then see the world I see differently.
And the kicker was at the end, instead of that, we bless the world.
Yeah.
That was
right.
the whole key here. Now that I've come
Right.
to this place where I've let go, I loose the world from all that I think it was.
Mhm.
I mean, the exact words, I want, for I'm real because the world is not. But then he's saying, rather than this world or even my body causing me stress or anything causing me, I
Mhm.
can recognize that I have a concept about the world, I have an idea about what's going on, and I can change that idea.
Yeah.
And instead of feeling like this world is here to affect me, I can bless it.
Yeah. That's an idea that if you look for it, you'll see it throughout this whole lesson. The idea that when I let go of and that's another way of saying forgiveness. When I let go of what I think is real, the world is blessed.
Yeah.
And it's like, let me just find one of them. In the middle of paragraph 3, you have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts and miseries, your pain and tears, and all your sorrows press on it and keep the world a prisoner to your beliefs. This is really, deep course metaphysics.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
Well, yes, that's a central point. And then in the last paragraph, he's saying, you may not realize that you are in fact healing the world. He said, you may not realize that this healing comes to so many people, the ones that are close and nearby, but you will certainly know your own sense of release.
Right.
And then he's mentioning that we're really not just this isolated being separated from the world, separated from anything.
Right.
We can be, rather than the one tortured by the world or our bodies making us feel something, we're the ones who can bless everything
right
forward now.
Yes.
Like he's saying, all we're trying to do is build the confidence in this one present moment and extending that to the future.
Right.
So that's a complete turnaround, isn't it? Rather
Total.
than this is hurting me, I'm here to bless it.
Yeah. So to go back deeper into the course's metaphysics,
Yeah.
if I think so, it says here, that we think that we, perhaps middle of paragraph 4, perhaps you think you did not make the world. Don't we all think that? We come into the world as a baby and it looks like everything here was here before we got here,
Yeah.
but came unwillingly to what was made already. hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. This is one of the places where the Course is indicating that we made a decision even before we were born
Wow.
about what we're going to experience.
Yeah.
So we we are making up the world with our senses and our ideas, but way back behind that was a desire to be separate. And the only way we could be separate is to be some kind of a victim,
Mhm.
right? The world is just out there. It's just doing its thing. And sometimes I get hurt and I have to be careful. And, it's like as if the world is like heavy traffic and we're in the middle of it. And we have nothing, there's no origin in us.
Right. So again, that's tied to, like he said at the end, you may not realize that now
Mm-hmm,
you have whatever you need as you go forward in time,
mm-hmm,
whatever circumstance you need to
Mhm.
anybody far or near. You may not realize that that's how powerful this idea is, but you will sense your own release.
yeah,
So that's, you see, we can talk all we want about the world being unreal and it doesn't exist, but until we have an experience inside
yeah,
where we see, wait a minute, I changed my mind.
yeah,
That may not have changed out there, but I changed my mind and now I feel released.
yeah.
I feel free.
And you will, when you do that, you see it differently. It may have the same form,
Yeah,
but you see it differently.
Right.
You see love behind and a call for love behind all of the suffering.
right.
And then you go to that rather than to the suffering.
That's right. So why would I be in conflict with anybody then if what's really going on is my idea about what's going on in myself or in them?
Mm-hmm,
If I heal it here,
mm-hmm.
then I can offer it love and blessing
Yeah,
because I don't think that it's making me be this kind of thing.
right.
So once I free myself, then why would I be in conflict with anything?
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I
Because you're happy, you're free, you're powerful,
and I
and
can
you
offer
know it.
them love.
Right.
You know,
You're bringing up a really interesting point. The miracle always blesses you first.
yeah,
And going to right-mindedness out of wrong-mindedness, or going to forgiveness out of unforgiveness, that shift, that's the real miracle. And then form changes, form shifts. So it's like the review of chapter
your
of
first 13.
lesson 20. Let me get it. The review of 17 is really, I think, very copacetic to this. Okay, it says, what I see witnesses to what I think.
Now this is an I see no neutral things.
Yeah, this is in lesson 54, which is a review of lesson 17. It's just one little paragraph, but see how it is reflected in today's lesson.
Yeah.
What I see witnesses to what I think. If I did not think, I would not exist, because life is thought. You are the thought of God. Let me look on the world I see as the representation of my own state of mind. So if I'm seeing pain, suffering, war, disaster out there, that is a representation of my own state of mind.
Right.
I know that my state of mind can change. That's what he's asking us to do in doing these lessons. And so I also know the world I see can change as well. So form can change. Now, if there's an individual that you're offering healing to, and that individual is saying, no, I'm really getting a lot out of this suffering. There's benefits to me in this, and I want to stay. Okay, fine. They get to be that way, but your mind has changed. But I think on a generalized level, the world does change. Our world, the world I see, changes when I change my mind.
See, this was historically, this idea isn't just covered with the Course or with spirituality. This was the Cartesian idea. I think, therefore I am.
Yeah.
Right. So he's
Yeah.
saying life is thought.
Yeah.
And what Descartes was doing was questioning is what's real and what's an illusion, what's real. Can I trust this or can I trust that? And what he came to is I can deny everything having a reality, but I can't deny that I'm thinking.
Right.
And therefore, by thoughts being clear and distinct are the ones that inform me, not the confused ones. So this whole idea that life is thought,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't, when you're looking around, you can't deny that you're thinking or doing something.
Right.
So that's the start. Life is thought.
Okay, and here's how that idea is reflected in today's lesson. It talks in the first paragraph that a crazy person can't be convinced that the purple pumpkins that he sees are illusions.
Yeah.
He cannot convince him that until he recognizes that maybe his thinking is the source of the purple pumpkins.
Yeah.
So it's like when that happens, then he can begin to doubt it. So it's like that guy in that movie.
Beautiful mind. I was just thinking of that. What he did, he realized he was this mentally ill person who would imagine things and they'd be real. He would think there's other people there. So he trained himself to have people he could ask, is that real or is that there? And we can do that.
Right.
We can train our minds to say to the most outrageous assault, is that real?
And that's what this course, we don't even need to ask another person.
Yeah.
We can go to our learning from the course and say, if I'm seeing somebody attacking me, is that real? Would God attack God? Would Holy Spirit attack Holy Spirit? No, that can't be real. And therefore we see something behind that. I had the idea this morning, it's very common, the idea that projection is like a movie. Remember, like, I don't know if they do it the same way now, but it used to be there'd be a reel in the projection room, and there's a guy up there, and the light is coming through the little piece of film and going onto the screen. When you begin to realize that the screen, which is the world, the desk, the glass, the screen, that the stuff I see on the screen can become translucent.
Neutral is what the course, everything can become neutral. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm going to use a light analogy.
Okay.
Here. Okay. So it can become translucent. So what if you're looking at a movie screen and instead of seeing it as like you can't see anything behind it, what if you could see that there's something else going on behind the screen? The screen becomes sheer. And that thing behind the screen is what's really interesting. That's what he's asking us to do, to stop believing in the screen that we have projected, the story we're telling ourselves. Don't believe it's real. Behind that is reality, our reality, everyone's reality, as the Son of God.
See, that's where this is where you can see how incredibly the integrity of this thought system, because it's making these huge claims like there is no world, it just exists in your mind. And that's a big, because we're talking about what happened in 1850 and
dinosaurs.
We're talking about everything is in your mind. You said, and it's not there, it doesn't exist. But what we're given is an experience that we're at peace with everything and that we can bless everything.
Right.
That can be a direct, meaningful, easily identified, I'm free of this conflict I thought I was in.
Yeah.
I'm free this moment.
Yeah.
And then we can say, hold forth through faith and belief. Okay, he's saying this will solve everything.
Yeah.
So let me try it.
Yeah, let me try
Let me keep coming back around. Is this true? Is that real?
Right.
And then the course, remember we read the other day where it's just saying unequivocally, anything that's like that seems like it's unloving, you just need to look at it and say, is that what I would see? Is that what I want?
Is that what I want?
Is that what I really want? And when we look at it in that kind of investigation, the Course is saying, you will choose rightly,
Mhm.
because it's just happening because we're not looking at
And we believe that it just exists without our thinking,
it. Yeah,
without our beliefs.
right.
We think it's just there. Everybody can see it. That's just the way everything is. It's hard, it's solid, it's real.
Yeah,
And my thoughts, my little aspirations, my desires mean nothing in the face of, what's going on in the world.
yeah,
And this is saying, no, you are powerful. And you can see how that whole idea that the world just exists apart from me, that is the idea of separation.
yeah,
And it's the idea of victimhood.
yeah,
If we are powerful, as he's telling us we are not victims.
that's
We're
right.
making it up, we're choosing it. And please, he's saying over and over in this lesson, please, for the sake of others, change your mind. Another thing that was really challenging to me in this one
Mm.
is the idea that this is going to show us that we are identified with the Father,
Mm.
that we are one with God.
Mm.
So paragraph 12 is the one that really hits on that idea. It says, your real creations wait. So that's the stuff behind the screen. The fact that everyone is a loving being in the mind of God.
Mhm.
Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. Whoa, really? God shares his fatherhood with you, who are his son, for he makes no distinctions in what is himself and what is still himself. The mind of his son, the mind of Christ, those apparently separate beings are all one and one with the Father.
Yeah.
And that's what's behind the screen.
Yeah. So again, whatever we made, the Holy Spirit has to use that
Yes.
exact thing. So what we begin to do is separate ourselves out
Yeah,
from this ego thinking
right,
because it's made up.
right,
I'm going to separate those thoughts out
right.
and let go of those. And the promise is if you really do take that step, and that's really only our part, is to let go of that,
Mhm.
then the miracles that are there will come into your awareness,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But we just got to say, because we can't think two completely opposite things at the same time.
Right.
So if we let go of the illusion,
Mm-hmm.
then truth, it's only illusion or truth, then the truth will shine on us. That's what we have to trust.
Yeah.
It's just saying no. I mean, I want to be able to, in situations, blame something else. I don't want it to be my thoughts.
Right.
But if I begin willing to just let go of that a little bit,
Yeah.
and get the peace that he's promising,
Yeah.
then that's the motivation.
Oh, yeah. Right. Because as soon as we begin to see my thoughts are like, I am the movie projector,
Yeah.
right? I put that can of film in the projector. I've chosen that.
Yeah.
As soon as we see that, we can make it a change. Say, Holy Spirit, I don't like what I'm seeing. Help me. There's so many lessons that are built on this idea that we're doing today.
Yeah.
So many. This one is probably I don't know, I think maybe the strongest, the most powerful and confrontative lesson in this whole idea of the world as an illusion.
Yeah. And that, I like you use the word trust, because that's one of the attributes of the teachers of God.
Mm-hmm.
When we teach love,
Yeah.
when we're trying to turn around our thinking, the fundamental idea is to trust.
Yeah.
Like he said, no matter what happens, whatever seems to change, whatever seems to be lost, trust that you can get this experience of peace, that
Yeah.
you can get this experience of forgiveness. And it takes trust.
Yeah,
So
and it's a development of trust. So
Yeah.
it's little by little by little.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's why we work in groups. That's why
Yeah.
groups work, because we realize this isn't just about me. This is about something very general,
Yeah,
not just me specifically.
Yeah,
Right. And
right.
we can together,
yeah,
we can unlearn.
yeah. You've been mentioning lately how someplace in the course it says we don't have to learn from other people's experience. Oh, I think you were paraphrasing.
In the message of the
Yeah,
crucifixion.
we don't, where it says we don't have to go through the same experiences Jesus did to learn from his experience.
That's right.
And you've been extrapolating it to other people.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
true.
That's what he said. So in other words, the inference was, if somebody's attacking me,
Yeah,
I don't have to respond with that.
right,
Right. That's my opportunity to help.
right.
But not if I feel like, oh, well, I'm just like them. I can't. No, we can free ourselves.
Yeah.
And help free others at the same time.
So
do you want to open to some question? Oh, go ahead.
first of all, I want to just hit on like the challenging stuff.
Okay.
Okay. It says in paragraph 6, sentence 2, there is no world. This is the central thought the course attempts to teach. But then it gives us a little bit of softness. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as he can, let himself be led along the road to truth. We may back up, we'll come back. We may put it on pause. Hey, I got something more to learn before I can accept this idea, but we'll come back to it. So that's all I wanted to say in conclusion.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
All right.
Just unmute yourself when you want to speak.
We're going to quit the recording.
Yeah.